It's Rick's Corner with Rick Drasin. Welcome to Rick's Corner. I've been thinking about something a lot. I had a video called Wrestling for Dummies. Not that all of you are dummies, but there are a hell of a lot of dumb people in this world. And it's not just wrestling fans or wrestlers, and it's not just bodybuilders, and it could be related to anything in life. I'm sure you see it. Every time you go out the door, people with stupid questions or doing stupid things, or shopping in malls and you're standing in back of them, they're not even aware you're there because they're only focused on what's in front of them. But the Wrestling for Dummies, I put it up and instantly got more questions asking exactly what I just labeled for you. It's like no one even listened. And I thought to myself, probably in classrooms when teachers teach kids and they get so frustrated because no one's listening, they have to repeat themselves over and over. Well, if you want to be a wrestler, then you need to act like an adult and you need to pay attention because it's a tough business and not everybody can do it. The main questions I get is, where are you located? If you go to my website, if you go on YouTube, and you look at my YouTubes, on every one of them says Los Angeles, California. We're on the West Coast, Los Angeles. If you live in Alabama, if you live in New York, if you live in Germany, you're not close, and you're not going to come here. Because many people call me from out of state, and they say, well, I'm going to move there. No, you're not. 99 and 9/10% of the people that tell me that don't move here. It's a long drive, it's a long plane flight, it's a big process, and it's very expensive here. Rents here are outrageous, food is outrageous. You have to know how to work the system to live here, and if you're not brought up here, it's tough unless you have a really good, secure job. So you're not going to move here to become a wrestler. I think I might just want to try wrestling and see if I like it. Well, you don't try it, you commit to it. You don't try anything, you commit to it. And you do it because you love it. And I told him, I said, it's a lot of work. We train every day. Guys get hurt. There's a lot of injuries. He says, oh, you get hurt? Oh, then I don't want to do it. Well, what do you think? Do you watch it on TV? You think the guys don't get hurt? You think it's all fun and games? You sit on your armchair and you watch wrestling and think, oh, I can do that. No, you can't. It takes skill. And there's a lot of injuries. I've had so many injuries I can't begin to tell you. The cortisone shots, the torn quads, the torn tricep, lost teeth, broken nose, frozen shoulder. It all comes from that. And look at the statistics on WWE, all the guys that are out with injuries. Of course you get hurt. And no, it's not fake. Yes, it's like stunt work. Yes, there's a predetermined finish. We all know that now. But you're working body contact with someone just as you do football in your grass or wrestling on the lawn, or elbow hits you the wrong way, you get hurt. It takes a lot of timing, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of dedication. And you have to be in shape. You just can't come in here fat, out of shape, and say you're going to do it. I've had guys throw up with the first 2 minutes. They get blown up, and that's the end of it. Someone said, why are you training 10-year-olds? Isn't it unsafe? Yeah, it's unsafe if they don't know what they're doing. But I'm doing the right way with them to teach them how to train so they understand what this is about, so they don't do it alone at home and jump off the roofs and smash light bulbs in people's eyes. They have to learn the proper way. And 10 years old, sure, it's a good time to start. They take karate classes then, why not take wrestling? Call me and you say, I want to be a WWE superstar, can I make it? I have no way of knowing. I don't know you. First of all, I don't know if you're in shape. I don't know if you're mentally capable of doing this. And if you ask a stupid question like that, chances are you're not smart enough to make it, because it's a business and you have to understand the business. You have to train for it. You have to be in shape. You get to know people. You do indie shows for a given amount of time so you can learn people that know your work, and eventually you work your way up the ladder like in any job, and someone refers you and then you try out, and then if they like you, they'll put you under a development deal and they'll pay you like $40,000 a year for 2 years, which is not enough to live on. And after that, they might give you a contract. They might, and they might not, and probably they won't. It looks glamorous and exciting on TV as it is when you watch a movie. But in reality, it's a lot of work 300 days a year, driving or flying in a car, in a plane, on a boat, on a ship, and it just wears you down. And it's a really hard business. And a lot of the guys at the top make the money, a lot of guys on the bottom make hardly anything. And then after 4 or 5 years or 10 years, they're done. So I don't know if you can make it or not. You got to commit yourself. You don't come once a week and train. You train 5 days a week. You put your heart and soul into it. Do I need a college degree to wrestle? No, you don't need a college degree. But you need a college degree to get by in life. If you're going to do something with yourself that takes a college degree, go for it and learn a profession or occupation that you can use in case wrestling doesn't work, because 99% chance it's not going to work. And I don't mean to be negative, but I've been there, done that. I know what it's like. On the days that I got in, it was hard, but I got in, but it wasn't near as hard as it is now. Everybody wants to do it. It's like actors who move out here. We get all the people from around the United States moving to Los Angeles, to Hollywood. They want to be actors. Sure, they have that dream, they have that goal. I am an actor. I've been there, I know. And it's nice to have that. You have to have some sort of a goal to reach. But you're not going to be a superstar overnight. You're going to get day jobs. Once in a while, you get a check for $400 or $500. You might have one line. You might not have no lines. And then, if you have the charisma and what it takes to become a superstar or actor or get a series, you're lucky, you might do it. It's the same thing with wrestling. If you have the total package, you have the looks, the body, the mind, the charisma, know how to speak, there's a shot. But you got to develop it. A lot of you people call me. I get it on my cell phone. I'm driving, I'm around, and I don't answer if it's a block call or if it's an out-of-state area code. Sometimes I will, but you never leave a message. How can I possibly give you information if you don't leave a message on my voicemail? That's what it's there for. And if you can't leave a voicemail, then what's the chances of being able to speak to a wrestling promoter? So I call back. I ask for somebody who called me. No one knows who I am or who they called. I tell them it's about wrestling. Oh yeah, where's your school and how much it costs? And we've been through this before. Identify yourself, tell me what you want to do, tell me what kind of shape you're in, and let's talk about it for a minute. You ask the stupid, stinking questions, and it's just ridiculous. And when I talk to somebody like that, I don't even want to train them. Talk to you. Take a look at American Idol. See all the people that try out that think they're superstars and they laugh them off the stage because they don't know how to talk, and then they get mad at the judge and tell them, the judge, you don't know anything. Why wouldn't they? They're judges. They're in that field. The same thing with wrestlers like myself. We don't know anything. We spend years doing this. We know when there's a superstar and when there's not, when someone has potential. And if you have an attitude where you come in, where you act like that, you have no potential, you'll never work in this business. So remember that. Be a gentleman. Respect your elders. Respect the guys that were wrestlers ahead of you. They're the ones who laid the groundwork. Ask me, why do these little guys wrestle the big guys? It doesn't look real. It's not a matter of looking real when you're training. I have the kids and I have all different sizes, and everybody works together like an acting class. You work with different size people because you get used to learning how to handle different sizes. It's not about beating them up or winning matches with them. It's about working and selling and learning the technique. And it doesn't matter if it's in a training school and if they're good the first week and you criticize them, oh, those guys suck. They've only been here a week. They're learning. At least they're here and you're not. So don't criticize at home people who are doing what you want to do when you don't even do it. I get really pissed off about that because you have no right to judge unless you get in here and do the same thing they're doing. I'm kind of short on 5'5". Do I have a chance? You can do indie shows. You're probably not going to get WWE, and then you bring up Rey Mysterio, and you don't realize that Rey Mysterio came of a generation, a family of wrestlers. They were named long before we were all alive, and that's why they're in what they're doing. But doing indie shows is not a bad deal. You can have your day job, you can do what you want, work indie shows at night, have a great time hanging out with the guys and working in front of 100 people. Have fun with it. This is very close contact when you train, and I'm going to tell some of you guys that are already in schools or doing shows and all that because we have issues here as well. Personal hygiene is a plus. When you're in the ring and you're working close with somebody, brush your teeth and use a mouthwash. There's a lot of bad breath, and nobody wants to smell it. You wouldn't go out on a date with a chick and you're dancing with her and have your breath stink. She'll never see you again. It's the same thing here. We're real close together. Spray your armpits because they smell. You don't want to have BO. So take care of yourself. Personal hygiene, and you're working in a business like wrestling every night. If you become a pro, people use colognes, they use deodorants, they brush their teeth, and they smell good in the ring because they have to work with other people who want to work with them. And when they find somebody who doesn't, they won't even use them. And I have advice to you: if you want to become a professional wrestler and have a goal, lovely, do it. But also remember that it's not the end result of everything, because it's a very, very hard business, just like acting. You may never ever make it, and then what are you going to do if you don't? Have an education. Find something that you can do other than wrestling that brings you an income so that you can afford it. And yes, when you pay for wrestling classes, yes you do. Wrestling classes are not cheap. So you want to be trained by a pro. You want to put your time into it. It's going to cost you money to do it. You're going to wrestle for free for a couple of years, or get 20 bucks, or maybe pay 20 bucks to wrestle just to be seen. But that's what this business is about. In the end result, if you love it enough and you have enough drive, enough commitment, enough heart, someone will see you and they'll take you to the top. And that's Rick's Corner. Thanks for watching.